So this is Hamble, and Hamble has been in the house for a few days. Here's her hospital pen. Because Hamble hasn't been very well. Have you, Hamble? You'll probably know from earlier videos that she had some breathing problems, and we put it down initially to a sort of a reproductive system problem. We thought that it was the same as what she suffered last year, which was a swollen ovary and oviduct, which was causing pressure on her lungs and her air sacs. However, the hormone implant that we've been using didn't seem to do the trick, which it did last year, to sort of calm everything down. So we actually operated because the vet thought at that point that she might actually have a lot of gunk, pus, maybe egg residue or whatever in there, and that might be still causing the problem even after the hormone implant. But the operation did not find that. The vet was really, really, really surprised. What the operation found was that she had areas of fat within her abdomen, not the usual, this is a fat chicken type areas of fat, because there you would probably find it around the liver and on the organs. This was just area of fat, just everywhere basically. And the vet just has no idea why that is the case. She's been reading up on it. Sometimes you find broiler chickens with this. I've even looked at some YouTube, where are you going, darling? Some YouTube videos, and I've seen a couple of instances where people have had chickens with this, and it's completely not normal, and they've sort of put it down to almost genetics. So it's been a bit touch and go, to be fair, because what we're trying to do is reduce her fat and get her breathing to be normal again. And of course, as anyone who diets knows, it's not an overnight thing. And the thing I would say is that in September we know she was 2.6 kilos because she got weighed when she got her other hormone implant in. And when she was at the vet the other day, she was 3.1 kilos. So she'd put on so much weight. And yet during that time, she hasn't obviously been eating lots. I do keep a close eye on the girls. And she actually has been eating less than normal. Or it appeared so anyway. And the other girls aren't overweight. We've had a bit of a weighing session just to confirm. So yeah, and in fact, 3.1 kilos for this type of bird is probably towards the upper end of what she could be. She doesn't feel, really, really hefty, if you like, when you're feeling around her body structure. So yeah, so it's a bit of a crazy situation. So she had an operation on the Thursday night, and we brought her home on Tuesday, and this is now Sunday. So sorry about the light hitting the camera there. I thought you'd prefer to see Hamble rather than me while I've been talking. So she has been home since Tuesday. That's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that's 5 days. Her breathing has eased a little. She's been on a combination of antibiotics and anti-inflammatories, more because of the operation. And the operation site is actually under her tongue there, so I can't actually show you the scar. But yeah, she's got a scar, or a wound, I should say, which is fine. But unfortunately, we noticed. Oh, she has cats. Obviously, she's actually very good with the cats, and the cats are very good with her. I've got a little pal. So yeah, we noticed when we brought her back that she had a sore leg, and you'll see she's actually just standing on one leg at the moment, which chickens do, but she is sore, quite sore actually, on her left leg. To the point where she was sort of struggling a bit to stand up, and she was sort of having to throw her left wing out to almost help her get up, to help support that left leg and act a bit like a crutch. So I was persevering with the Metacam, which is an anti-inflammatory and painkiller, but I finished that on Friday and contacted the vet. Well, contacted the vet before that for advice actually, but the vet has suggested we get her more painkillers. So she's now on the Metacam still, which is a liquid which we scoosh into her mouth. And she's also got a little tablet to take twice a day as well. And the tablet, on looking it up, looks like it's tramadol based. So anyone that's had pain or been in hospital and got painkillers, you may well have experienced tramadol. So she had her first 2 tramadol yesterday, one in the morning, one in the evening. And I have to say, she was fair. She was quite happy. She was wandering around. It looked a lot easier on her leg, although Tom and I were joking that she might be a bit high. She might be a bit high. I don't think that's necessarily the case. But it did seem to help her leg a lot. She's not had her painkillers or medication this morning yet. So I can see that, you see, she's resting her foot at the moment, her leg at the moment. So we'll get some more into her shortly, and hopefully that will ease it up again. So we've got 5 days worth, I think. 7 days it would be. 7 days worth, so we've got 6 more days to go. And I hope that that's going to sort this out. I think the tramadol is for musculoskeletal and soft tissue injuries. All we can think is that that's the leg, for a reason for the problem. That's the leg that had the catheter in, and she had a catheter in from the Thursday night when she had her operation till the Tuesday before I picked her up. And they bandage it in, and the vet nurse I was talking to said, well, it might just be the way that we bandage it. She's a bit stiff on that leg. There's no swelling. It's not any hotter than the other leg. I'm hoping it's something as simple as she's strained it while she's been, having to deal with having that catheter in. I don't know whether it can be anything to do with the other thing that she has, this sort of accumulation of fat, unless there's sort of a sort of fatty pocket pressing on a nerve that's causing this, almost like a, what do you may call it? Oh no, I can't remember the term. If you have a sciatica, that's the term. I should know it because I have it. When you've got a nerve being pressed somehow and it causes pain somewhere else. So a nerve in my back causes pain down the back of my leg. So maybe it's something like that to do with what's happening inside. And as she loses weight, hopefully that will alleviate as well. So she's munching away there. In case you're wondering, that's some tomatoes and some cucumber in there. She's been getting lots of fresh fruit and veg, mostly veg actually, including lettuce and cucumber and tomato and cabbage and broccoli, and 2 or 3 little kernels of sweet corn. That's higher in calories, so we're not going to give her too much of that. And particularly the first few days when she was really quite down, I think, we wanted to make sure she was getting things to perk her up. She also has her layers mix, which she's not eating tons of, and yeah, that's how she is at the moment. Oh, she's going to have a stretch. There we go, darling. Sorry about the light. We're facing the windows. Yeah, so that's the status at the moment. Oops, she does. So yes, so this is Hamble. And by the way, since we've had her home, she has, the first day we weighed her on our scale, she was 3.1 kilos. The next day, even though she hadn't eaten that much, she was 3.2, which was a bit sort of disconcerting. And then the next day, she was 2.9. And we didn't weigh her yesterday. No, the next day she was 2.9. Then the next day she was 3. We didn't weigh her yesterday, so we'll see what she is. It just seems, I guess it seems that type of, amount of weight loss just depends if she's eaten or pooed or whatever. That's going to affect it, those small gains or losses. But I'm hoping that I'd like to get her down to 2.6 again. Obviously we can't starve her. We need her to be fed, and we need her, her metabolism to keep going, etc. But we, gradually will get the weight off her, and once she's better on her leg, we'll be able to start trying to introduce her back out to the flock. Because of course she's going to be missing her pals outside, although that in itself is going to be a challenge, because they will look on her as an interloper, a newcomer again, and we're going to have this introducing a chicken into the flock situation, which, if any of you have chickens or know about chickens, will know can be excuse me, quite a horrible thing to see. So I've got some ideas on how we'll introduce her back in, because we had to do the same with Beryl last year. So that's the situation with lovely Hamble. I'm just going to move out the way now, because I've sort of been blocking her way out of the pen just so that we could have a look at her while I'm talking on this video. But I will let her out and get back to having a meander round the living room, and then she goes under one of the dining chairs and sits down there to have a little rest. So I'll leave it at that for now, and I'll keep you posted as to how she's getting on.